Hello and welcome to Boys State News. I'm Riley Blismer.
And I'm Kendall Schreier.
Our purpose here at the Boys State News is to catalog the events of the week and provide Boys State members with content we will all remember.
Monday was the first day of Boys State, and while it was a day of excitement and new experiences, it was also a day of remembrance.
As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live them. John F. Kennedy. Memorial Day is about honoring those who have given that ultimate sacrifice for our country and our freedom. Monday night, Boys State held a memorial service for those past attendees who were killed or missing in action. Following the opening address made by Department Commander Hugh Holmes of the South Dakota American Legion, Travis Flizrand, and also from the American Legion, honored those who have become prisoners of war or missing in action. A table set for one is used to commemorate those soldiers who have yet to return home. Nathan Jules of the Army National Guard then demonstrated proper flag etiquette and the meaning behind folding the flag for the fallen heroes. Media team members Riley Blismer and Halsey Lamb concluded the memorial service by ringing a bell to honor past Boys Staters who were killed in the line of duty.
And now we will go to Will House with our first segment of the day.
Tuesday morning, Kristi Noem visited the 76th Boys State to talk about her past and her current political aspirations. To begin, Noem shared the story of how she first became interested in politics.
Ranch, and my goal was to go to college and then come back and take over the family business. But when my dad was killed in an accident when I was going to college, it kind of changed everything for me. And that's really when I started paying attention to policy.
Elected to the House of Representatives in 2011, Noem has enjoyed her role as a public servant. After some motivational speaking, the floor was opened up to questions from the audience. Topics ranged from Native American policy and gerrymandering to net neutrality and more.
But it's been very rewarding to represent you guys. I worked with President Trump very closely the last year and a half. He and I have spent hours and hours and hours of time together because I'm on the committee that writes tax reform, that deals with taxes and trade and health care and a lot of our entitlement programs. And so he and I have spent a ton of time together, and especially working during tax reform. We passed the largest tax reform package that's ever been passed in the history of this country.
We caught up with Noem after her presentation to get her input on educational policy reform in South Dakota.
Yeah, we do see some challenges here in South Dakota. Even though there was a tax increase focused on raising teacher salaries, it gave them a bump, but they're not necessarily still setting the example for how we're rewarding them.
For the full interview, check out the South Dakota Boys State Facebook page. For Boys State News, I'm Will House.
Thanks, Will. Kristi Noem was the first of 4 major speakers of the day. Up next, we will go to Javi Perez to highlight his interview with Chantel Krebs.
El pasado martes, la secretaria de Estado de Dakota del Sur, Krebs, se dirigió a los Boy Staters explicando su trabajo y cómo este beneficia a los residentes de Dakota del Sur. Krebs fue una oradora interactiva poniendo a prueba al público sobre su conocimiento en su trabajo, las políticas de votación y los partidos políticos en Dakota del Sur. Para comenzar, explicó cómo Dakota del Sur tiene uno de los mayores índices de votantes en la nación.
Specifically in presidential elections. So our presidential election turnout, we ranked 5th in the nation in this last presidential election in 2016. Now, how many percentage do you think turned out? 63. 60. What's the other one? 68. Hey, right on. 69%.
Utilizando situaciones de la vida real, Krebs enfatizó la importancia de votar en las elecciones locales y el hecho de que cada voto cuente.
Let me tell you, in the local races, most importantly, your vote counts in every race. But let me tell you in South Dakota what happens in these local races. So you have low turnout, right? So there's 70, they have 700 people in that town, and let's just say 350 of them are registered to vote, and out of that, only 10% show up. How many voted? 35.
También tuve la oportunidad de hablar cara a cara con ella después de su discurso y le pregunté qué se podía hacer para atraer a más personas al estado.
I think South Dakota already is changing the waves in that, meaning keeping our youth here. One of the issues or initiatives I think that a state could do is to partner more with our high schools and say, hey, these are the things that we need in South Dakota for workers.
Para ver la entrevista completa, consulte la página de Facebook de Boy State de Dakota del Sur. Soy Javi Pérez, Boy State News.
Thanks, Javi. That's all we have time for today.
Make sure you follow up with us on our South Dakota Boys State Twitter, use our Snapchat filter, and use the hashtag #SDBoysState. That's all we have time for today. Tune in with us next time on Boys State News.